Before we start today, I want to start with a little funny story that I read. It's about being a parent. And being a parent is like jumping out of an aircraft with other people who don't know to open their parachutes. You whiz around and you save everybody and you hit the ground hard, but you don't die. You get up, dust yourself, and make dinner. So I'm here with my two friends, Reshma Bombaywala and Parul Kakad. They are influencing our people in Bombay and all over in India. Reshma has been a very successful model. Everyone will know her from this amazing super hit dance song she had done, Saheri Babu. Everywhere we go, everyone's trying to do the dance steps in front of her. And Parul, she started modeling and then went into motherhood very quickly. We all have children, but you're a super mom, like we were saying. She's got 4.
We have 8 amongst us.
8 amongst us, yeah. And we've kept the 8 of them alive. So let's just give some good gap.
Not just alive and thriving.
Yeah.
Our shoots opened.
Yes. Okay. So what does modern parenting mean to you, Resh? You can start first. And what is your parenting style?
Modern parenting for me, the way I see it, the definition of that is essentially that as a mom, or when I became a mom, I didn't forget who I was. I didn't put myself on the back burner. I took myself along with me on that journey of motherhood. Being a mom didn't stop me from doing anything that I wanted to do. So I think that would be my definition of being a modern mom. I didn't forget myself in the bargain of becoming a mother.
Yeah, I totally agree to that. And I'll add to that because that's what I would say as well. But adding to that, motherhood is also living a life of attachment with detachment. I feel like as mothers, we get so obsessed with our children that we want to have every say in their life and what they should do and how they should live, every aspect. But if you have that attachment with detachment, it just changes your entire motherhood game. So
yeah, it's almost like we are the bow and they are the arrow. We sort of give them a direction and some support, and then they find their sort of direction that they want to go in. Yeah, that's I would say, yeah, that sums up modern parenting. And what do you think? Is it like, are you a soft parent? Are you strict? How do you all manage your kids? Maybe you can start, Parul.
I think I'm a mix of both. Like sometimes I feel I'm a Hitler, which not only the kids, but everyone else at home also gets that energy vibe. But some days you do need to put down your foot. Some days you need to let them be. So I guess they should see best of both worlds when it comes to
be a bad cop and a good cop. What are you? Are you a bad cop or a good cop?
Divi and I, my husband and I, we both sort of manage that. We are very strong in our disciplines, that there are some things that both of us agree on. There's no getting out of, that this is how it has to be done. Just to give you an example, eating will always happen at the table.
Yeah.
Sleeping will always happen at a certain time. You will greet people in this manner every time. This is how you will speak. If you say yes, you have to say please. If you say no, you have to say thank you. These are things that, fortunately for Dimi and I, we have both sort of been on the same page about, and it has helped. I know that I'm strict with my boys, but because I have 2 boys. And boys, I think, need a little more structure, a little bit more sort of, narrowing down, because otherwise the playing field for them is really, really vast,
You just mentioned about Dimi and also Hiren just being hands-on, like being a part of raising our kids. How important do you think is a father's role in a family? Because in India, we always see the women are taking that whole load on themselves. Really, men are breadwinners. We obviously come from a little bit of a different school of thought. What is your take on how that role of the father has to be now?
I think fatherhood is very important because they bring in different aspects to life, be it in a woman's life or be it in a boy's, like a girl's life or a boy's life. For boys, it's more of they become like a mentor. They want someone to look up to, and how they look at life, and how they look at how they should take care of a woman, how they should, address certain things. And for a woman, it's an entire idol where they look up to the man because they want their maybe future boyfriend or husband to be of a certain caliber, quality, and that's what they carry forward. So so having a father figure is by default very important.
I think mothers regulate emotions, but fathers regulate aggression, because you've got two boys and they, I feel that energy is different. So how do you guys, what's the role?
I think a father's role in a family is 50%. Yeah. Simply because, just like what Parul was saying, so boys need an idol. And the father is their role model. Whoever they become as men is greatly influenced by that one idol in their life, which is their father. It's important for them to see how the father treats the mother, how they interact, how, if they have disagreements, are very normal and essential for growth in any relationship, especially in a husband, between a husband and a wife. But how they resolve those problems, how they interact, how they speak to each other, how they show affection to each other. Dimi and I have always been very open. Well, we won't fight in front of the kids if we have fought. But if we've disagreed, we've sat there and we've disagreed in front of them. And we reasoned it out also in front of them for them to understand how you can have a different viewpoint from someone you love. But the love doesn't go away. You just have that discussion and you move on from that. In a similar manner, they seem, Demi and I, be very affectionate with each other. So because of that, they're not, I think it's a big deal, maybe also because we're living in India, where physical affection is not expressed as much here. But with our kids, we're constantly hugging and kissing. And it's the small things. It's the touch at this, or it's the kiss on the head, or it's the small moment. Right? That I did. Meant to be in that one, and then it kissed on. I'm like, no.
Yes. Please, Osh makes me a coffee in the morning. He makes a nice heart foam. I always put on my Instagram. So that's just like a small thing he does for me every day.
Can we have coffee with you?
Thanks, Karen. And, I think, it's about the small moments and that connection more than, the other day I was talking to Osh and I was like, is really date night important to us? Everybody harps about you must go with your husband out for a date. And I feel like we have these small moments at home so much because we do spend time together a lot and we're not very much apart. And I think that sort of also brings us on the same level as parents when we want the same things for our kids. It's never like Osh is deciding something and then we just all have to follow it. It's always we discuss, we communicate. And that's that's how we want our children to walk the earth, in kindness, being helpful. How do you guys deal with external forces? Okay, we bring our children up in a certain style, but they do communicate with other kids and families through school or in the building or other friends. How do you resolve those conflicts, like behavioral or bad language, for example? How do you deal with that?
I think what I've recently kind of discovered with my parenting skills is trying to acknowledge what they're going through. First is the awareness as well. When they come to you with a certain issue, a lot of times as parents, we either give like a shocking expression that how can this happen? That actually puts in a barrier in front of them because then it creates a wall and they're not sure, should we communicate, should we tell them? So it's very important to be zen and try and have that poker face as much as you're dying inside. But listen to what it is and ask them what they thought of that situation, because it's very important to understand their thought process and why they did what they did, and was it okay with what they did, and how did it make you feel at the end? Like, what was the emotion underneath? So they can always come back home telling you all these stories. But a lot of times we feel like, he's just like talking about something. But the moment you kind of listen to what, there's always an underlying emotion to what they're trying to say. So if we can focus on that emotion and discuss that, and then get back to, a lot of times they just come to you to say something. So if you ask them, do you want me to say something or do you want me to just listen? That's just changed my entire story on parenting. So
And when they're listening to maybe language outside of the language that we use in the house, as in words that we don't really use in the house, what do you tell them about it?
So I guess I've done this thing of an age limit thing. Like you can get onto Instagram at a certain age, you can use YouTube at a certain age, you can drive at a certain age, you drink at a certain age. Language is 21. So I guess that's what it is. And I said, so one day, one of them said shit. Yeah. And she came to me crying. Mama, I need to say something to you. And I was like, oh my God, what happened? She's like, I think I said shit and I'm not happy about it. I said, okay, calm down. Who did you say what, why did that come out or whatever it is? So I guess it's okay, but just make them realize, let it not become a habit. If they've said it by mistake or it happens, we all do things by mistake, right? And as long as they've come and spoken to you, be they safe haven to kind of discuss that.
So let me start by saying with our boys, what we've done is that we've tried to tell them at every point, and I try and do that on a daily basis because I think it's important for them to hear this. It's that kindness. Yeah. If there's anything in the world you can be kind. Yeah. That's it's a mantra in our house that we try and do. Repeat, follow, live by. Having said that, now my elder one he's been in a few situations where he's been at the receiving end of behavior that is, since a young age. I don't know why. Maybe he had different kids coming and going as well. The exposure to, different families, different mindsets, different upbringing or whatever. So he's been at the receiving end of bullying to a certain extent. And then I've seen him do that because he was at the receiving end and he was feeling it, and he did that to another, and it broke my heart. I know what it feels like, not personally, but I know as kids, how much that can affect them. So when that was happening, I went to that other kid and I said, I'm really sorry that this has happened and I feel really bad. I will make sure that Kezra apologizes to you and that he doesn't repeat this. I wish the parents of that other kid had that asking to Kezra. They didn't. Okay, so now that's personal upbringing as well. We approached school. It was resolved in a manner that the school saw fit at that point. But it's going to happen. Language, kids, songs, my gosh, they listen to a song have you ever been in the car with the real? Yeah. And then and you've never paid attention to the lyrics. Still, your kids are actually singing. What's that song? Yeah. Yes. And then you change or you stop or you distract them. So the kids know the F word. Yeah, sure. The F word, the S word, and all of that. So they said, can we use these words? I said, see, these are grown-up words. Also, as a person, as an intelligent human being, you will try and express yourself with words. Using the F word is easy. Yeah. If you're intelligent, you'll use something with you. A whole lot of other words that will, get the same emotion, but you won't need to say the F word. Yeah. So that's something. And having said that, now, Kezra is 12, almost 13. Yeah. Within themselves, they're going to say it. And I think that's okay. So long as they understand who they can say it with. Yeah, true. And you cannot say it to others. And in school. Yeah. And I think they also have this new lingo going on with them, which I'm like... Sus. Oh, suspect. Suspicious, yeah. Suspicious. Everything. So sus. I was on they made me join Discord and I was watching one of their chats. And I was like, I need someone to crack this. There's some code language, going on. I was like, oh my God. How do I even deal with this?
I have this story when Shalom we were in Australia then, and she had heard the four-letter word. She was in first grade or something. It happens way earlier in other countries. So anyway, so she came home and she said, Mommy, I've learned a new word and it's 4 letters, starts with an F. So I sort of said, if you want to say, she wanted to say it. So I said, okay, go in the bathroom, shout it out 10 times, and come out, and then say, okay, I've said this word, it's done. So she felt an immediate release of shouting. And she was, 4 or 5? But I let her do it because it's in our house, it's our personal space where they feel secure. And it's not like somebody is judging them. And I just let her do that. And after that, she didn't say that word for years, till now, grade 7 and all the stuff that comes with it. So that's something, that's a strategy. Another thing is put your kids in the car and as you're driving, talk to them because they have no eye contact. Yeah. They tell you way more than when you're looking. Like you said about the expression, they read your face, if you're disappointed or you're upset. So when you're driving, go to your therapy session.
Yeah, I do this in the night. So we have that time when the lights are out.
They can't see you.
Everything.
Yeah.
And they're feeling and they're calm. What has happened through the day. And they're not calm.
Because that is when they remember everything.
And
like through the day.
Only questions.
Yes.
Whichever one. No, you just keep it.
It's like, what amazing questions these are.
Yeah.
Let's remember them. Let's write it down and make them keep a little book by their bedside and write this question down. Let's look for the answer tomorrow because even I would like to know.
Yeah. How do you handle lies? Have your kids caught you all saying any lie, white lie? Or do you lie to your kids to save them from disappointment?
I think it's a mix, bag of everything. Like sometimes when I'm lying about something, I can see them, they look through my soul. I think,
It's just like Gianna, exactly, right?
She can look at you and it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm standing here. Do you still want to tell me the truth? So it depends on what you want to disclose. Sometimes, like you said, you don't want to hurt them or certain things. But a lot of times when they want to know the truth, you need to ask them in such a way that what is making them ask this question? Try and understand, because it's sometimes they come and ask you a meaning of the word, of some particular word, and you've given a complete different answer.
Because you're foxed. Sometimes you can't explain to them.
Yeah.
Because my older one came and asked me, Mummy, what's virgin? I took a second and then I said, she has no idea. She's asking me because she's heard somewhere. I took her to the kitchen, opened the cupboard, said this is extra virgin olive oil and this is virgin olive oil. And this is pure and this is double filtered. That was it. That was the end of it. It's us. Yeah. We are sexualizing it, because we have this extra information, we take it upon ourselves to think. And then if I had said, it's not a word for you, it's not for children.
You have to ask them the context. The moment you ask them the context, where did you read it or where did you hear it? And in what context are you asking? Yeah. It's very important. This has happened to me, I think yesterday, but I don't remember.
It just came to me that day.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't have had any kind of, I would have had to explain 5 things before I had explained to them.
Yeah. I whenever the boys have asked me a question, I've answered them honestly. Yeah. And that's something that I've done from the time they were little.
Yeah.
Of course, the answers that I give them will be age appropriate. It's the age-old question that all kids, especially the older siblings, will have when you have a second or a third or a fourth baby. How do the babies come out of the stomach?
Yeah.
So we've not lied. I'd never lied to them.
Yeah.
I've told them. I've told them the position. I've told them how there are 2 ways to do it. My younger one has always listened because he is that personality. Okay. And he takes it all in. And then when he's processed it, he'll come back with his own question.
Yeah.
So when I told him, I was like, okay, so this is what happens. Few nights later, of course, this is all bedtime conversations. Okay.
Yeah.
So a few nights later, he just comes and said, Mama, was it painful? So I said, Kaden, yes, it was. But then there are medicines for that to make the pain less. You know what he tells me? At that time, he still loves, but now they have more friends than they are, this love for this one girl that he was literally born at the same time with, their best friends. Oh, it's like, I don't want Jasmine to go through this pain. Oh, so cute.
Oh.
So, as a kid, they know natural delivery. They understand when it's a C-section. They understand. I mean, again, the actual act, I haven't told them.
Yeah.
And Kezra has questions. The older one has questions. And I'll tell them, I said, I'll try and explain it, but maybe you will not understand it at this point because you need to, they've done a little bit of sex education and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think they've reached a point where it's the how the pregnancy happens.
Yeah.
They understood reproductive organs at this stage. So I don't want to overwhelm him. So I ask him, I'm like, have you all in your circle, do you know what sex means? So he goes, no. I said, okay. I said, I will tell you when I think the time is right. I said, I don't think you're ready for the answers just yet, but it is something that happens between two people who love each other. It's a decision that's taken by two adults, consenting adults. I try to explain to him what a consenting adult is.
Yeah.
It's small things. And at that stage when you have kids and you have boys especially, there's so much you need to teach them. Girls, there's a whole other aspect of it.
Yeah.
But with boys from a young age, where you tell them no means no.
Yeah.
And this is something that we've tried to tell our boys.
The onus is on the mothers also a lot to sort of drive that message of respect. See, A, the kids have to see the father respecting the mother, like you said before. And B, the mother being able to communicate with her, basically it's the mother's influence is what will make that son have that soft side for his future partner. And that sort of dynamic shift, I'm hoping and I'm seeing that it's happening in our country, where mothers are able to open up with their kids and have this kind of conversation like we do. What do you think, since I've moved back to India, it's sort of sat with me a little bit about, everybody here has nannies, didis. It's like a whole thing, okay? Are we outsourcing our parenting?
I think it really depends.
It's good
from mother.
This conversation with both of us because I think we will give you a perspective on both sides.
Yeah. So I think it's more importantly balancing. Like till I reached my third child, I didn't want to have nannies. People kept coming and going, but I wasn't really fond of it because I was a very hands-on mom till I got spoiled. The moment you feel you get to do so much more. And now today, that's what I've realized, that if I have certain help at home, they can finish all the other messy work that needs to be done for me to progress with my day and to do so much more in life today. But then there's some who take advantage of that situation. So it really depends on mother to mother and how they see their help as. Is that help benefiting you in any way in parenting?
But if you were like a career-driven woman and your husband is working, you're busy, you need that support.
You need that support.
So, as the saying goes, we need a village.
Yeah.
Right? Now we're living nuclear lives where we don't have extended family. So kids, when they grow up in an extended family, and that's what it means. You have neighbors, you have friends, you have relatives who live close by, you have grandparents that live with you. At that time, probably you didn't need the nanny help because there were other people.
Exactly.
The mother would get the time to do other stuff. If she had 4 kids, for you to even give time to each of her kids, she would get the break from the kids to do other stuff as well. I have 2, so I think because of that, it's been easy. Having said that, I stopped working for that phase in my life because I wanted to be there. I had kids late in my life. I was fortunate enough that I could stay at home and be with the kids and enjoy them for that. And that's what I really wanted. I wanted to be there when they were little. I wanted to document and remember and memorize everything that happened, at least in the first 5-6 years of their lives.
Did you do it for both? Did you do the book and everything?
I had nannies, ever.
Yeah.
So whenever I needed, Demi and I, we would go out every once in a while. My mum would come, or they would go to my mum's place. Yeah. So there was no nanny ever for the.
Also because you lived outside of India, it's not possible to get and heddle all the time, right?
Yeah, so but I was there only for the first year after Kezra was married.
Right.
I came back to India when Kezra was just a year and a bit, and then we've been here since 11 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I read something interesting about, you're as happy as your least happy child, okay? And it really stuck with me because I've got 2 kids inevitably one is going through something. Okay, something is going on. And then, I sometimes don't find the space to be happy for the one that's happy because I'm dealing with something else, So how can I balance that?
I feel like for me, it's always been that till the time I'm not happy, I'll not be able to give or share my happiness with somebody else. So when your child is going through something, you end up, it hurts you. It makes you feel really shitty about what they're going through. But then it's expressing and kind of sharing that feeling and emotion with them. So I get what you're saying, but it's a little confusing when it comes to that aspect. But I guess at the end, if you're feeling happy within yourself, then you know how to get them to that point.
Final questions from this before we do a little rapid fire sort of a thing.
Spencer.
It's not quality with Karan, it's Madhya and Mridula. Why? Okay, so we're in the digital age. That is where we're going. Our kids have access to technology, iPad, internet. Take a deep breath, yes. See, that is where it's going. Are we going to give them the tools to navigate it? Or we tell them not to have the screen time, not to do this, restrict them, not give them iPads? I feel that's a disservice. They should know. Right, I was you.
This is fortunately for my kids, the older one now.
Yeah.
His homework gets sent. They have a website.
Yeah.
Homework gets sent to that website. They have to log in to it and get their homework. Then they created a Teams group.
Yeah.
So they sit and they chat while they're doing their homework, which all is okay. We restricted games on his laptop. So I've reached a point where I've banned Roblox because there was enough I read about Roblox, about chat groups that come, external third-party chat groups and the things that were being sent. And when I do this, I explain to Kesra why I'm doing it as well, because I think it's important for him to know.
Yeah.
I want him to know that I'm not trying to stop his pleasure or his fun.
Yeah.
I'm doing this so that I'm protecting him for, all of those things.
Okay, so I'm going to try and do a rapid fire, a little hot take sort of questioning. Modeling or social media influencing, which one has led you to have more unexpected adventures?
Social media.
Modeling.
What's your one guilty pleasure when kids are asleep?
Netflix.
Yeah, binge watching.
And eating snacks. Rolls. Have you ever used your mom's status to get out of situations?
Totally. At signals when I had to take an illegal U-turn. It was true, but I had to.
I did it last night. There was a truck that was supposed to move and he said, 10 minute lagega. I said, nahi, mujhe ghar jana hai, mere bachche wait kar rahe hain.
Even I usually have those kind of things. My kids are waiting in the car. I have to quickly do this.
Yeah, come on.
If you could invent a new feature on social media, what would it be? As a mother angle, also you can say.
Switch off your phone.
Yes.
Just like block.
Yeah, poof. It should just go off. And then just a reminder that, you have the rest of life to live, So continue.
In real time.
Yeah.
Okay. What's one parenting rule you secretly enjoy breaking?
Giving them ice cream for breakfast.
Yeah, French fries, that would be for me. On a holiday, I let them have French fries for
anything they want. I think we eat anything we wanted, right?
Yeah.
What's the most extravagant purchase you've made and you thought it was worth it?
A trampoline. For the kids.
For the kids.
Yeah, I just love the whole fact that they don't even sometimes come into the house. They just go in with everything, drop their bag, drop the bottle and go and jump. But I had to obviously discard it because it was it died. It lived its age.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that, and it was massive. I think it took a part of the society I was living in. Mm-hmm. And I was very okay with everyone coming and jumping because I would also go and jump. It was huge.
As long as that was well used, it's worth it.
Yeah. Extravagant purchases obviously was, when I was younger, when I was single, I didn't have kids. Since having kids, I've realized that articles, things, shoes, bags, as beautiful as they are, they cannot compare to experiences. Correct. This is the deal that Dimi and I had after so many years being together. You sort of run out a little bit of the great that you can give each other as well. So we made a pact that we won't gift each other anything unless there is really something that we want to. But the other person, but there's no hard and fast rule for Christmas, for birthdays, for anniversary, for Valentine's to get anything for each other. Yeah. What I told him was like, we'll save that money and we'll go travel with kids. Yeah. Just have experiences, create memories that these kids will have for the rest of their lives. Yeah. That's what.
Yeah. What's your most daring adventure you've embarked on since becoming a mom?
I went skydiving.
Okay. Well, Didi and I, we're both adrenaline junkies. Yeah. I'm all about adventure sports.
Yeah. What's a song that will send you to the dance floor?
I think anything from the
Seri Babu. Yeah.
Oh, wow. But with her, I think it's always Kajrare is one that's always, I guess.
We have a good time.
Yeah.
I think it's the first time I ever saw Resh. She was in a fitted, stripy, sort of long
bodycon. Yeah.
And she was doing this.
You know what she does? And like, she's just like,
and I was just like, wow.
Can we just watch you for a while? Like, can't even try to like,
so
that's for dancing.
Yes. Yeah, you have to tell me the song, but you said Kajrari. You tell me a song that.
I think any song from any Bollywood song.
Yeah.
Like, I think we are all so inherently, in that.
No, Tanki. Yeah. Okay. What's one myth about motherhood you like to dig up?
Myth that you don't have to give up on yourself, and you don't have to be like fully dedicated, and that your life is over basically after being a mother.
Yeah, you don't lose yourself.
You don't lose yourself, because a lot of times they're like, oh, now, after I have kids, I can't do anything. I have to sit at home. No, bro, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You can totally have your own life, like after being a mother. And the most important thing is you are setting that example for your child. So be it a son or a daughter, when they see you, who you are as a person, that's who they aspire to be.
I think there's no guidebook, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Right? We're all doing the best we can, and that's all we can do. The previous generation, our generation, and the generations to follow.
Yeah.
There's nothing like a perfect mother. We're all doing the best we can.
Yeah.
Our kids are learning from us. We need to just set the best example. As that whole thing of being the perfect mom, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That's when it needs to be broken.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done in the name of love? Maybe a love for your children, love for your husband.
I got a tattoo. My husband's initials.
Oh yeah, right. I was great. My whole back is tattooed with my kids' names and everything.
I'm not that my kids' names, but I do have my husband's name. I actually tattooed it even before we got married.
Oh.
So I always joke that, it says Bhabani and it'll say was here. You get it?
We thought God and all.
So, okay. Last question is, Mama, what's for dinner?
I don't even want to listen to it. Now it's like there is a 6 p.m. phone call that comes if I'm out.
Yeah.
That comes, khane pe kya banao?
Yeah.
It's like, and every day my response is, bachcho ko kya khana hai? And then I get onto the call and I video call or whatever it is. What do you guys want to eat today? And all of that.
Yeah.
But
no, I don't do that. I don't do that. One kid likes a certain type of food, the other one doesn't. They actually have two different.
Yeah, same in my house. Yeah.
I've told them this is not a restaurant.
So every day they get to pick, like one person picks, and everyone has to eat it. Like you deal with it.
Yes.
Yeah. So
then when the onus is on them, they realize what an irritation it is to decide what to make for dinner.
Yeah, it is.
Tell us how it changed your modeling landscape when you did that really popular song, Seri Babu.
Gosh, I had no idea it would. It's like when I was selected for it, there was no auditioning for it. It just, when you get the call that you are doing this, and that's how it happened. I suppose they liked my look. They wanted me to do it. Lascelles did the clothes for it. The choreography was done by another good friend at that point. And it was at that point where they were taking old Hindi songs and creating a remix sound with them. It was a new thing. And nobody had any idea how big it would become. There are many songs that came out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there are a whole lot of girls that have sort of experienced that level of love and appreciation for the songs that they've done. For me, I still get messages from so many people.
Can you tell them how many views it's got?
I haven't checked.
It's crazy because we were in Jaipur or something.
Really?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, we were in Jaipur and I still dance in front of her. So that's like good fan following. That's fun.
Yeah. So it definitely.
If you've not seen Seri Babu, you must watch.
It's on YouTube.
Yes.
Maybe I'll do a remix again.
Yes. Ladies, thanks for coming. I am so glad you came, made time, and gave us this amazing insight. I'm sure loads of people out there, mothers, are going to get some inspo about modern parenting. And
There's so much more, I think.
yeah, there is loads. We can talk. There's
to it.
Please. Maybe we could meet again and we can get people to send us some questions and maybe we can answer that for you.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Lots of love, guys. Super mommies. Go mommy nation. Yay.